إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Welcome to another episode of the Young Smirks podcast. We're here and we have a very special show today, a very special guest, Dr. Hasan Hariri.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Excellent. Allah يسلمك بارك ورحمة.
Alhamdulillah. So we're here, alhamdulillah, we joined with you at the
Thuraya Astronomy Center
Astronomy Center, mashallah.
in Dubai in Mushrif Park.
In Dubai, mashallah. Sheikh, subhanAllah, you just showed me around and it looks fantastic.
Thank
I wish
you.
I could come with my family, spend a day here.
Definitely.
Looks like there's a lot to do, alhamdulillah.
Most welcome, inshallah.
So Sheikh, introduce us. What is this center?
This center have a story. The story was that we draw the constellations of the sky on the ground and we put astrolabe in the center of it as a sign of science. And then in the center of that, specifically at the constellation of Taurus, we have a bunch of stars called Pleiades. With Pleiades, in Arabic we call it Thuraya. Thuraya,
Okay.
that's kind of a sign for, on ancient time with the Arabs, they are taking it very optimistically and thinking about that the new seasons, the time will come for better time for travel, for pearl diving and all of that kind of things. So Thuraya used to be a very good sign. So we took that and we made a UFO flying saucer come down and called Thuraya Astronomy Center. Where the people here or our staff were going to call in the people to come and explore the universe and get a tour of the space.
So, subhanAllah, so this center, you actually look into the stars, you look into space.
Exactly. So we have 3 floors, ground 1 and 2, where we receive the people to explore the universe with us with 5 senses. So there are some things to see, things to hear, things to touch, things to smell and things to eat. All of that experience to give the total kind of way to immerse yourself with the universe. We have a ramp which will take you anti-clockwise all the way from the Big Bang all the way to the planets, and then you enter into our observatory. Inside the observatory you're going to know how did we discover the story of the universe.
So Sheikh, just how did you get involved in this from the very beginning? Why was you so interested in looking into space?
The beauty came with words of my ancestors, like my grandma, my mom. She was telling me when I was very young about the stories of the stars till we get sleep at night. So with those kind of stories, it triggered me more to learn about the universe. And as I was growing up, things become much more practical to understand that there is a kind of connection. And specifically when we are talking about the stars and how important it was for the Arabs at ancient time to find out times, to find out directions, to travel with it, to do lots of things.
How does astronomy fit into Islam?
Exactly. And this is the point which I was coming. You see, when she used to explain to me things, I used to ask her this kind of things and we used to annoy her with lots of inquisitive things. And she said, wait, you have time to learn it. And she started to tell me, look, we look at the sun and we pray for our 5 times. Look at the moon. And we used to make a celebration of the moons when we see the first crescent. We make our fasting, Ramadan month, and we do our Eids. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala connected us with the universe to tell us what? The importance of our life, importance of time, and how important it is. وَعَلَامَاتٍ وَبِالنَّجْمِ هُمْ يَهْتَدُونَ. Finding the directions, finding the ways, and including into that value of life. That was very important for me to learn from that time, that a man have a limited time on this earth and he have to find a purpose. And that purpose is to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ibadah, and also to serve other people and gain the Jannah. Astronomy is a tool for you to really appreciate your time, your life.
You know, in this day and age, we're very disconnected with astronomy, you know, because of course today we have timetables for our salah, we have apps, you know, we have people who are doing the moon science even for us, and we're living in the big cities with lights, so often we can't actually see the stars and we're very disconnected.
It is.
And as you mentioned, Allah constantly reminds us to look, you know, into the heavens and the earth, you know, as a reminder.
Definitely.
You know, for him.
The whole concept of the new modern era tools and utilities which we are using to simplify our life but they are based on those formulas which actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have made it. Can we say that Newton have made the laws of gravity? No, he discovered it. Einstein discovered the relativity. So it's actually connection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made amazing, beautiful celestial bodies to conclude the time, to conclude things out. Now, we simplified our life to make it easy on our gadgets, but on overall, you would definitely ask yourself, is my time is accurate? Is my information is correct?
Yeah.
And answer to this question, you have to know about how the things are really working, how we are calculating the time, how we have the calendar of the solar and lunar. All of this information will drag you to the basic nature. So it's there. It's there. Just only it's waiting for you to ask the right question and go and discover the things out. The beauty of astronomy, it's always available for you whenever you need. And today with the modern internet, it's at your fingertips.
Yeah.
You can go through and it's understanding the things out. And definitely I would advise anybody who is just reaching to this level, go to the desert and the places where amazingly you can see beautiful sky. The sky is still amazing, just only the light pollution have covered it.
Yeah.
Just go a little bit away from the city and you start to see amazing things.
Sheikh, just for those who are listening, what is the difference between astronomy and astrology?
Thank you for the
Because
question.
it's very important.
It is by every means. I would say there is a very simple example. I give it to everybody. Today, definitely as a science, we know that the stars are very, very far away. So far away that in our lifetime, we will never be able to reach them, even with the fastest spacecraft which we have. Okay, keep this information aside. I would ask a very logical question. Do anybody of us who believe that we have a free will, are we ready to give to anybody our free will and become slave to him? No way. Today, nobody is ready to give his free will out for anything. So my question is the believers of astrology, why you are giving your free will to the stars to control you and give you a hanger for your mistakes? No. The stars are not the hangers of your mistakes because they are not the one who affects your life.
Yeah.
So do not fool yourself and listen to the astrologers because they are not scientists.
Yeah. So astrologers are like they're like magicians basically who believe they can try to tell the future.
They are actually trying to cover up lies with science cover.
Yeah.
Where they're saying we are astronomers, and I'm saying no, you are not.
Yeah.
You are using things to illusion people, to deviate them from the right beliefs.
Yeah.
And we as a Muslim, we know it very well. It's clear cut that we cannot believe into this, absolutely. But for the public, general public, how could we really believe in something far, far, far away from us?
Yeah.
So far away that, let me give you an example of Alpha Centauri. The nearest star to us, it's 4.2 light years away from us. That will take around 10 to 15,000 years with a speed of 40 to 50,000 kilometers per hour rocket. Like New Horizon, if you imagine yourself, you are inside that spacecraft.
You can't imagine
you're
this,
going
yeah.
to reach it 15,000 years.
Subhanallah.
So it's impossible.
Yeah.
How I can believe that a star could have effect over my life?
Yeah.
Tell me what to do or not to do, or what could I be? No way. قل لا يعلم الغيب في السماوات والأرض إلا الله. The game is over here. The only one will and always will be the controller of the whole universe. And He, Almighty, have given us free will.
So when we're talking about astronomy, we're talking about the science of looking into the stars, which Allah has made permissible. You know, in terms of, there's many ways you can use this. SubhanAllah, you have navigation. Like you said, it's useful for the Salah, of course.
Definitely.
The Salah is recorded with this. Also, Ramadan, the month of the calendars. SubhanAllah. Sheikh, you also said that, what other things do you actually study when how else is it connected with Islam?
Astronomy have that kind of tweak, I would say, which connects you with reality, which gives you perspective to yourself first before anything else. Because when we look at astronomy, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran al-Kareem have called us to look at the sky and think about it and meditate about that, which we call it in Arabic ta'ammul, matafakkur.
Like a contemplation type.
Exactly. That kind of thing leads you to what? To understand the size of the universe. And when you find the size of the universe, you're going to know only one thing: how minute, and sorry to say the word, nothing you are comparing to the universe.
Sheikh, you know, one thing I was reflecting on recently, you know, like with some of the Christians prior to Islam, and even some of the Jews as well, they believed that Allah was literally just like above the clouds. And then when I was contemplating on the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, where he explains the comparison of each heaven,
Exactly.
you know, each of the sama,
Exactly.
you know, where he's saying it's like a ring in a desert, and
Exactly.
subhanallah, like it is totally something you can't imagine. You know, and this is something which has only really been understood with modern technology. And
Exactly. Look, you have said something very beautiful. Today, when we zoom out from the Earth and go all the way to the edge of the cosmic background radiation, we find that it's 13.7 billion years away from us. And when we play with, or let's say calculate with string theory, we find that, hey, there might be not only one universe, there might be other universes. Today we are talking about other universes, though we know from the Islam that there are 7 universes out there, and each of them comparing to each other, just like a halaqa fi falah, means throwing in the desert. And similar way, all the way to the top, up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Arshullah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it inherits us to be humble, to think about it. And that's where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. They couldn't appreciate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala power.
we can't even begin to try to appreciate this universe.
Exactly.
Just this one sama.
So that's what astronomy gives you in the heart. Gives you your size. Gives you how big it is, how mighty it is, the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls us for. He says, look at my creation, and then you will appreciate what I am.
SubhanAllah.
So this is one thing, to understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Almighty is great, great and greater than what we can think about. Then we'll fear from Him, and we'll be always looking for His rewards of Jannah. Fear from the Nar and ask for the Jannah. That's the mission of our prophets. And once we believe in that, we're going to reach to the point where we can see in the sky where the stars are being born and die. So if the stars, which age billions and billions of years, they die, so what about us? No, not only
Something
that.
so big and powerful.
Exactly. If those things are going away, so definitely we are going away. But are we going to go just away and like that? No, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us again the sign in the sky that as we think the sky and the earth have came out of, let's say, Big Bang. But we said, Ratq and Fatq, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran. Similar way Allah says that we go يوم نطوي السماء كطي السجل للكتب كما بدأنا أول خلق نعيده. So there is a doomsday. There is the day of the judgment. And the question comes up here, did we prepare for it? Did we prepare for the asking for our deeds, answering the questions of what we have done? So the third thing, astronomy teaches you to prepare yourself for the judgment day. So if you see from the beginning to the end of it, these 3 things directly hits your faith and makes you not only humble, but good deed doer, and look to benefit the others so you can earn more ajr, hasanat, and come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a good heart.
SubhanAllah.
Astronomy is the tool to enforce your soul,
SubhanAllah.
your faith.
And our religion actually depends on certain aspects of it, like you said, the first thing we'll question about on Yawm al-Qiyamah is the Salah.
Jazakallah khair.
And how do we know
Exactly.
the timings? Through
Astronomy.
the creation of Allah,
Allah subhanahu
the signs what Allah's.
Allah made it so easy, so simple. Nobody can say that I didn't see, I didn't know. It was very difficult. I didn't have the tool. I didn't have my smart telephone. No.
The zakat is based on the timings.
Exactly. Things
the
are
yearly
so
timings,
simple.
the Ramadan, the Hajj.
Exactly.
It's subhanAllah.
Today,
beautiful.
if we look at Islam and its ways of practicing Islam, is the most easiest way. It doesn't require to be astronomer actually. You just have to have a basic knowledge, and an eye to observe, and you will reach to the right directions. That's the amazing as things we can say. Now, if you look at, again, we're going to go to the faith. If you have the right faith, your deeds, your actions, your thoughts will be all guided properly by mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that gives you the element of become fruitful person. And I believe the astronomers, they're supposed to be the best people. So astronomy really guides you to be the best citizen, the best person, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the person who really loves to give out, because he wants his good akhirah and also good dunya.
Subhanallah.
Allah says.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh.
Allah says.
Sheikh, you know, I have a question. Do you take part in actually sighting the moon for Ramadan, and are you a part of anything to do with this, to do with the official calendar in the UAE?
We try to be supportive to the official committee which hails in Abu Dhabi, and we support them with our observation. If there is something we have observed, definitely we're going to tell them about that. And alhamdulillah, parts of our members are also in that committee who are participating actively into this process. And alhamdulillah, thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by every means, we try our best. And that's one of the simplest services which we should give to our community.
Sheikh, you know, I'm from England, so in England you have many different schools of thought, people from all over the world, you know, from different backgrounds. And sometimes we have a disunity amongst the Muslims regarding Eid and things like this. And how important is it to, you know, recognize that, okay, just because somebody may have a difference of opinion on what day Eid falls on, etc., this shouldn't kind of split the Muslims?
Definitely. It's very simple. If you look at Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his ways of doing things, again, I'm going to go back to the point of simplicity. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not impose on you to be difficult. He doesn't want you to have a telescope to observe the crescent. Watch it with your own eyes, and that's it. صوموا لرؤيته وأفطروا لرؤيته فإن غم عليكم فأكملوا الشهر. Our lunar month will not be 28 ever, and it will not be 31 ever. It has to be either 29 or 30. It's not difficult. And also, to make it more simple, if you made mistake on the first day, you have the second day to correct it. Third day, you have 28 days to correct your month.
MashaAllah.
Can a system be more resilient than this?
SubhanAllah.
So it's no chance to make mistake. So if you imagine that you made mistake, definitely second, third, fourth day you can correct yourself. And that's the beauty of it. Simplicity, easy to correct. So where's the problem? The problem lies here. No, I should follow that school. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, did he say follow that school or that style or that way? Rasul said, "Sumu li ru'yatihi wa aftiru li ru'yatihi." As simple as this. So to unify the people of one country, one town, very simple. Look at it, start with it. Look at it, stop it.
Yeah.
Cannot be simpler than this. No need to say I am from this or from that. I have to follow this or. And you see, same thing is happening in Saudi Arabia and everywhere. People in Muslim world, they are being asked. Even if we can imagine from stretching from Indonesia all the way to Morocco, if everybody is different of one day is there, no problem. Where's the problem? Where's the problem? As long as the one country is unified over one thing, it's beautiful.
And as long as the Muslims have tried their hardest, you know, they're sincere, Allah accepts it from them, inshallah.
Exactly. So there could be 5 Eids. No, it cannot be 5 Eids. It will be simple. The one group of people in one town, in one country can be unified under one umbrella to say that our month starts with a simple way. So everybody can have their local version of enjoyment. And that's the main part of it. Ibadah and enjoyment. How much will differ? You see, if we just follow up the rules of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it cannot be more than 1 day differences.
MashaAllah.
Why? Because the earth is round and we have two big geographical processes. I mean, the area. So if, for example, the moon is sighted in Jazirat al-Arab, it will take time to see it in America. But American people will see it also very clearly. But if it was difficult to see here, American can see it. So they can begin 1 day and then we'll follow them on the second day. So there's no big, it's a 1 day only issue. So it doesn't go beyond that. The whole concept, again, emphasizing very much on one particular fact. Clean up your heart. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not request you to do anything out of your way. Just go and observe. You have ajr and you have ibadah starts. And alhamdulillah, everybody is fine.
Sheikh, you know, in this day and age, of course, many people, especially atheists, they take science as their deen, if you like, you know. And, you know, but at the same time, as Muslims, we like science, we love science. And it's important that the people understand that Muslims don't deny science as long as it doesn't contradict Islamic principles. And that we're encouraged to do science. And we should encourage our children to get involved in science, you know, from a very young age, play centres like this where they can come and get interested in science. But at the same time, you know, we must know the limits of science and the boundaries. And yeah, subhanAllah.
There is something very important we have to understand. We have to, okay, first thing I want to make a statement here. There is no contradiction, conflict, or fight between science and religion, or specifically Islam. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran al-Kareem, one first statement, اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم بالقلم. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us to learn reading and writing. How could such a religion then go and contradict with itself? Impossible. No way. It cannot happen. So this is a fact. We have to put it in front of us before talking in this subject. So there is no contradiction absolutely between Islam and science. What happens now? Misunderstanding of Islam and overshadowing verses of Quran with scientific backgrounds.
Yeah.
So here I have the second statement. It says, which is more truthful, our Quran or our science? Or more solid from our perspective of Muslims I'm talking about. Imagine with me, today, do we have a belief that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran on His Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam?
Yes.
Do we have that belief?
Yes.
And it cannot have a mistake.
Yes.
This is our first block in our building. If that block is perfectly there and we have solid belief into that, then the next block will be science is our discovery, our theory, our explanation. Today I can see something from one perspective, tomorrow I'm going to change it because I found new facts.
Yeah.
Just take it like this. We used to know that
science, you know, evolves and
exactly.
and
We used to think
expands,
the Earth is the center of the universe.
Yeah.
Today we know it's a planet roaming around the sun. We used to think the sun is the center of the universe. Now we know that it's a part of the edge of the galaxy of our Milky Way. We used to think Milky Way could be the center of the galaxy. It's no longer there in the center. Something else is roaming around. There it is. By the way, just for information for everybody, scientists ask any astronomer and they will tell you there is no center for our cosmos. So we are not even at the center. We are the shell. Okay. So moving all the way that our scientific beliefs, if I may just say, it's not scientific.
Exactly. Yeah.
We have to understand that science is always questioned by experimenting and learning.
It's probabilistic.
Exactly. It is not Quran.
Yes.
Quran, we cannot implement this law over Quran.
Yeah.
Quran is the one word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as it is from the day of revealing to the judgment day. It will never change. So if it says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala khalaqa sab'a samawat, it have to be sab'a samawat.
Yeah.
I cannot explain it with, don't ask me to explain it because my knowledge is low. Now with this, I'm going to set the third block. The block of zone. The zone of what we call thinkable, understanding, and limitation of our mind. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have given us amazing explanations and amazing facts and information, not because we can understand all of it at any, but it can be understood with different kind of times and ages. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also restricted us from certain things. Like for example, Allah said, وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الرُّوحِ قُلِ الرُّوحُ مِنْ أَمْرِ رَبِّي وَمَا أُوتِيتُ مِنَ الْعِلْمِ إِلَّا قَلِيلًا. It is just like telling us, hey, this is not your zone of thinking. You cannot explain it. So the ruh, the soul, cannot be explained by human logic or science. So there is a limitation.
We've not been given this knowledge from Allah.
Okay. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saving on us the effort of going to unknown zone and giving us the zone. The same Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Quran says, تفكر في خلق السماوات والأرض. And the same one saying, don't think about the ruh. How it can be working, how it can be judged. Very simple. Allah is giving us the zone of thinkable things and telling us that outside of this zone, which is very limited things, you cannot understand because you don't have the background. I have an example of this done by Carl Sagan when he was trying to explain relativity, time and space as fourth dimension system. Can we comprehend that four-dimensional objects? Cannot. No. We see it only in 3D. Our mind doesn't have the logic to see the fourth dimension. Though it's there. We have calculation for it. We have formula for it. E equal mc squared talks about that. The universe is being governed with fourth dimension, time and space with Einstein. But we cannot comprehend it. We cannot see it. We cannot touch it. But we can measure it. So it's a similar kind of things which we say to everyone. Look, you have a zone to think about the things as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have provided to you.
To your limits.
And there are out of the zone some few things. Please don't go there because your mind cannot comprehend that. And don't try to bring less knowledgeable thing over full knowledgeable thing. I cannot bring a theory of relativity and dig it out from Quran al-Karim. Sorry. Sorry. Quran is a book of ibadah. Worshipping. It's not book of science. It's not encyclopedia. I'm going to find the answer to my questions.
Some people are beginning with current scientific theory and trying to find that in the Quran. They're imposing their, I don't know the Arabic word, but in English it would be eisegesis. Instead of exegesis, tafsir,
exactly.
They're putting in
exactly.
this.
And that's one of the biggest mistakes.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous.
Yeah.
And then when science changes, they say, the Quran was wrong.
Exactly. And that's biggest mistake. Also, I would go a little bit here to explain one very misunderstood concept of I'jaz al-Qur'ani. What they say, the miracles
the scientific
in the Quran.
miracle type things.
I would stop there.
Yes.
And that's the
Big
way
problem,
of the ulama. They are guiding us into this. Today, to understand Islam properly, understand Quran properly, I have to have several knowledges, which is impossible for today one person to have all of it. I'm not going to go deep into that, but as well, just go to the net and find out what's required to tafsir al-Quran.
No, subhanAllah.
Now, if I cannot do it myself as a person, so it's better for me to create a committee of people who can explain tafsir al-Quran. And then I have to have a master of a science, say astronomer. We have to bring the astronomer, talk to him, hey, this is fact or this is a theory. He will say it's fact. So we'll take the fact and ask the scholars of Quran tafsir, do you think anything could look like this could be available? And if they said that something could be similarity, then we can think about it. But again,
it's still like a reflection more than an absolute.
Which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is the one who's going to reveal for you rather than you going to search in the Quran. So let's not go the other way. And let's treat everything with its own degree of what we call the understanding of things.
It's not needed for dawah.
Exactly.
You find a lot of people have been exaggerating some of these points, and for some people they might see a reflection in this, but this exaggeration sometimes it can lead people away from Islam sometimes.
Exactly. And this is what I'm saying. Islam is not emotions.
Yeah.
It's not sentimental things. This is a word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very aziz, very, very big, mighty thing. I'm a humble man. We cannot make Islam our way, our style of preaching processes. There is a way to do it, and it has to be that way.
By that, you're limiting science and you're limiting the Quran. Because the meaning of the Quran is huge and vast, and even science can develop.
Exactly.
And if you're saying this is the final thing with science, or this is the meaning of the Quran, you're limiting both fields.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enlighten us with His miracles in every time and age. And it doesn't require us to really go and dig for it. No. Allah will give us all the signs and everything. Plus, I would say, very important things to understand. Our Islam is complete.
Yeah.
Doesn't require Hasan Hariri to make it more complete. Okay? So let's understand that very well.
Yeah.
My way, my knowledge, my exploration is nothing comparing to Quran and its mightiness. So let's stick to what we have rather than going and creating extras which is not required. I am not how we say ma'soom in the English. Unmistakable person. I'm a person who can make mistake. Today I think of something, tomorrow I change my opinion.
And the people in the beginning of Islam had more iman and knowledge than us.
Jazakallah khair.
And you know, to think that maybe because we've seen something or understood something about the stars today that we have more knowledge or iman is not correct.
Absolutely not correct. And that's why we are requested from Quran by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَأَطِيعُوا اللَّهَ وَالرَّسُولَ. أطيعوا الله والرسول. أطيعوا الله والرسول. Why? Al-Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam have everything you need for your life, for your ibadah, for gaining your Jannah. And that's the ultimate destination. You are learning science? Superb, beautiful. But don't mix up things. It doesn't goes like that. Our Islam does not require science to make the stamp of correction. Sorry. Islam is complete. It have everything. Believe in it as Allah revealed it, Rasul Sallam preached for it. He have given us the way, the understanding, the book, the manual of our life. We don't need more than that.
Sheikh, just before we finish, I want to briefly touch on the importance and the way that Muslim scientists have actually contributed to science in history. Because a lot of people don't know about the history of science in Islam. You could argue from some perspective that Islam had a part to play in developing science, and in a kind of, especially in the later developments.
One of the pillars which Islam have laid down, and this is what I say, Islam is complete. My word of this, if you can explain it this way, let's imagine it from astronomy point of view. Before Islam, people were mixing astronomy and astrology, very much into the life. And they believe everything that the stars are doing and this and that. This believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His mightiness. When Islam came, what He have done? One of the first things Islam have done is that if you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you cannot believe in anything else. You cannot make shirk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who controls the universe. You cannot make a sharik for Him. Anything, any way. Nobody shares the power with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Full stop. Not the stars, not your will, nothing can share the powers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. La sharika lah. No partner for Him at any level, any scale. With that word, Allah tells us, من أتى عرافا أو كاهنا فصدق به فقد أشرك على ما أنزل أو بما أنزل على محمد كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. Who comes to astrologers and he believes into him, he becomes disbeliever of what has been revealed on Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم. And another hadith, 60 days of the prayers will not be accepted from him. What could be more harsh than this clear-cut line? Now with this clear-cut line, you see, Islam is putting the foundation for scientific thinking. Leaving the trash at the side and concentrating totally on scientific methodology, thinking, discovering, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, go fasihu fil ardi fanzuru kayfa bada al khalq, how he started the life, how he is distributing things, how he is making the rain. You tell me, and Quran is asking you to do this scientific work. So it have put the pillars of scientific methodology, of exploration, understanding, and explaining physics, chemistry, medicine, anything.
Like the Prophet said, for every disease there's a cure, search for the cure.
Exactly.
Telling us to do science.
Exactly. So this is the first contribution which Islam have laid down the foundation of scientific thinking.
MashaAllah.
With that, it have flourished. And you can see in 100 years, in less than 100 years, when Muslims used to open, I would say the word open, not conquer. Why they conquered? They didn't conquer the country. They didn't come to the people and force them to become Muslims. And I have a very simple example just to showcase the importance, because it's very much connected with the civilization of Islam, I would say.
It's a very important point. Islam as a religion has never been forced, as a belief system. Never been
And I will
forced
ask a question here. Did we Muslims, when we opened the Egypt, chop the nose of Phoenix?
No.
Abu Hol?
still
Who did break the nose of Phoenix? Napoleon Bonaparte, not us. So we left it. We left Abu Simbel. We left all the ideals of the Romans, and we left even the Babylonians and their civilization. They are all existing till today. Even the Buddhisms in India, in Afghanistan, everywhere. Did we really even touch their idols? We didn't. We left it as it is.
You know, a friend of mine actually commented, it is a nice observation. He said throughout the history of Islam and all the books of the scholars' writings, they didn't even mention the pyramids. They don't even care about it.
Exactly.
You know, now, subhanAllah, people...
So Islam never
Subhanallah.
ever touches anybody's religion.
Yeah.
And it tells everybody, and that's a second pillar, Islam and Salam, peace and tolerance. Islam brought peace and tolerance. I would ask, if Muslims have conquered, where is the massacres and their civilization should be doomed? Everywhere. But we see every civilization is there. And the signs are there, everything is there. Even in Jazirat al-Arab, at the north of it, you will see Ad and Thamud and all of that, Petra and all of that are still existing. What did we do with it? Actually, we learned from it. We translated. At the time of Abbasi Khilafat, we have translated the books of Sanskrit, Romans, Greeks, Egyptians. And we were learning, and anybody will bring a book translated, he will be given a reward of the weight of the book with the gold.
SubhanAllah.
So here, the Muslim civilizations have put the foundation for tolerance, peace,
Learning.
understanding each other, and then development of the science. And that's why we see the science have really progressed. We come to know with Ibn Haytham how the eye really works. We come to know with Bayruni about the astronomy, or Ibn Sina about the things. Now look at it. Even though the Muslim scholars coming from great different places, something is happening in India, something happening in Uzbekistan now, Khwarizm, from Bukhara, from Samarkand, from wherever it comes from, Iran, from Nisabur, or from Baghdad, or from Damascus, or even from Cordoba, from Andalus. We accept it all. The lights are coming up everywhere. Libraries are coming everywhere.
You know,
knowledge
subhanAllah,
is spread everywhere.
Regarding the Ibn Sina, I know some people have said that he was not a Muslim, but one important point is that it was still the Islamic system that allowed him and created that environment for him to progress in science, even non-Muslims.
That's the greatness of the Islam. Even if you don't, if you don't share with me my belief, I'm accepting you. And
even Jews, Christians thrived under the Islamic system.
Anybody. You will see the Jews were the first people protected by the Muslims, and they used to flourish with all the places where Muslim civilizations and Muslims rules was there. So moving all the way, if you can look at it this way, the amount of chance which was given for flourishness of science and knowledge have no second place in the history of humankind. And this is not my talk, this is talk of scholars of the West. If there were no civilization of Islam, or say let's Islam in between the brackets, definitely today's science would be much far away from what we are today. And there is another scholar have said another word. If Mughals did not destroy Baghdad's library and Christians' libraries of Andalus, today we would be further in future by 100 years at least, if not more. So knowledge was appreciated even if it's coming from non-believers. We never had a problem with anyone. Everybody is protected, safe haven, peaceful place for science to flourish. And that's why, with the challenge, I would say, look at any age, at any civilization, at any country where science is appreciated, has been appreciated in the Islam countries.
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. It's been a pleasure to speak to you. And I'd like to thank you for your time. It's been really a good Iman booster, a reflection and thinking about the stars. And subhanAllah, Jazakallah khair. And we really appreciate your words. And we ask Allah to accept it from you.
Thank you.
And hopefully people get benefit from this when they're watching at home.
Jazakallah
khair, Sheikh. Assalamu alaikum.
إنك لا تهدي من أحببت ولكن الله يهدي من يشاء